Cristiano Ronaldo stars as Portugal thrash Luxembourg in Euro 2024 qualifier. Cristiano Ronaldo continued his record-breaking form for Portugal as he grabbed 2 more goals in his country's 6-0 thrashing of Luxembourg in a Euro 2024 qualifier on Sunday, giving them a second win in 4 days. The 38-year-old grabbed a double against Liechtenstein on Thursday and scored twice more in Luxembourg to extend his record tally of international goals to 122 in 198 appearances. João Felix, Bernardo Silva, Otavio and Rafael Leo added the other goals to put Portugal top of Group J after an easy start to their qualifying campaign. New coach Roberto Martinez restored Ronaldo to the starting lineup last week and kept faith with him for the match in Luxembourg, where it took only 9 minutes for the veteran superstar to open the scoring as he touched home Nuno Mendes' soaring header. João Felix doubled the lead in the 15th minute, rising high to get onto the end of Silva's cross. Silva then himself headed home a powerful effort 3 minutes later after being set up by João Palhinha. Bruno Fernandes set up Ronaldo for the 4th, just past the half-hour mark, with a ball over the defense that was finished with pinpoint accuracy. Luxembourg looked bedraggled in the first half but offered more resistance after the break before Rafael Leo's looping cross allowed fellow substitute Otavio to head home Portugal's 5th. Ruben Neves, yet to score for Portugal, struck the crossbar with a 83rd minute free kick before a penalty was awarded straight after when Luxembourg captain Laurent Yance tripped Rafael Leo. The AC Milan forward got up off the turf to take the kick but his effort was saved by Luxembourg keeper Anthony Morris. But Rafael Leo ran half the length of the field to latch onto Ruben Neves' pass and cut inside before squeezing the ball home for a 6-0 scoreline with 2 minutes remaining. Chelsea left disappointed by former manager Thomas Tuchel publicly declaring his desire to poach highly rated coach Anthony Barry for his backroom staff at Bayern Munich. Chelsea have reportedly been left disappointed by former manager Thomas Tuchel's public declaration of interest in highly rated coach Anthony Barry. Tuchel was hired by Bayern Munich on Friday following the club's sacking of Julian Nagelsmann, which came as a significant shock with the side relatively well positioned in the Bundesliga and unbeaten in the Champions League this season as the season enters its final straight. Having developed a reputation for himself as being a straight talker, which has led to public fallouts at some of his previous clubs, Tuchel was asked in his first press conference regarding the makeup of his technical staff. Initially reported by The Telegraph, Tuchel confirmed that he wished to bring Barry on board, in addition to Arno Michels and Jolt Low, who he has worked with for a decade. "My coaching staff wasn't prepared either, so a big thank you to their families for their flexibility," he said. Bayern Munich insists they behaved fairly with Julian Nagelsmann sacking as club addresses Thomas Tuchel appointment leak. The German Giants relieved Nagelsmann of his duties this week, but the news was announced after it had already been leaked to the media that Thomas Tuchel would replace him at the helm. Nagelsmann was on a skiing holiday when the confirmation came, but Salihamidzic says the situation was handled properly by Bayern. "We flew back on Sunday, after the defeat to Bayer Leverkusen, and made an appointment with CEO, Oliver Kahn and Technical Director, Marco Nepp for Monday," the director said on Sport 1. "We looked at everything, especially the second part of the season after January. We only won 3 games, we were lucky to win against Stuttgart and Wolfsburg. We negotiated with Thomas Tuchel's manager on Wednesday and Thursday. Unfortunately, on Thursday evening we had to learn that it had already been leaked by a third person. Signing such a top coach in 2 days is not normal either. We behaved fairly. As fair as can be in this business. Of course it's bad that it comes out before then. But it's not our fault." Bayern lost their place at the top of the Bundesliga before Nagelsmann was let go, as they sit a point behind Borussia Dortmund. Tuchel has come in on a 2.5-year contract and will hope to lead the German Giants to domestic and Champions League success this term. The Bundesliga champions can get back to the top of the league in Tuchel's first game in charge as they take on his former team Borussia Dortmund on April 1st. Jude Bellingham and Steven Gerrard starred in a brilliant interview after England win, "The love-in was real." Another strike from captain and newly crowned record goalscorer Harry Kane put the Three Lions 1-0 up before Bukayo Saka curled in a stunning effort. It followed up the 2-1 win over Italy in Naples on Thursday and means England have started off the Euro 2024 qualifying campaign with maximum points from their first 2 games. Bellingham started both games and impressed again with 2 consecutive all-action midfield displays. After the game he was whisked in for an interview with Channel 4 as part of their post-match coverage. The Borussia Dortmund sensation stood right next to former England captain Gerrard, a player who he has regularly named as one of his footballing role models. At first you could tell the 19-year-old was a little starstruck as he told Gerrard how big an influence he was on him. He said, "I'm nervous now. Definitely. The things that Stevie could do, the teams he played for, the way he could carry a team, the way he could single-handedly win a game. He could do everything as a midfielder. I've said it multiple times how I've looked up to you and your game. It's a pleasure to be stood here right now." Bellingham has drawn comparisons with Gerrard for just how complete a midfielder he is, able to affect the game in both defending and attacking with equal success. And Gerrard spoke about him so glowingly, even going as far as saying that Bellingham has surpassed where he was at as a 19-year-old at Liverpool because of his physique and fearlessness. Gerrard stated, "Let me tell you, you're a lot further ahead than I was at your age. So you're going in the right direction, that's for sure. Well, for one he's got a better body than what I had at 19. No, I'm being serious. I never had that power and strength until I was 22 or 23. So he's definitely more physically developed than me. He's more confident than me on the ball, in terms of trying stuff. I'm not just saying that to be modest, but I think he's further on than what I was at 19. Don't get me wrong, I got to where I wanted to get to, and he's going to get to where he wants to if he keeps doing what he's doing. He's in a fantastic place. He just needs to keep playing well, and everything else will take care of itself." Deschamps backs Mbappé for more records as France prepare for Ferguson challenge. Didier Deschamps expects Kylian Mbappé to continue breaking France records but knows a Republic of Ireland generation inspired by teenage talisman Evan Ferguson pose a threat. Les Blues thrashed the Netherlands 4-0 in their opening Euro 2024 qualifier and will be confident of claiming another 3 points in Dublin on Monday. New captain Mbappé hit a double against the Dutch, taking him to 38 international goals and 5th on France's all-time scoring charts, just 3 shy of the great Michel Platini, 41. Mbappé has scored half of those in his last 16 outings, as many as in his first 51 games. Deschamps suggests there is no limit for the 24-year-old. It's Kylian, he's full of ambitions. When he reaches one, he has another to reach, Deschamps said at a press conference. He reached and exceeded quite a few very early on. He has that in him. He has a driving role compared to the whole group. He will do everything to get there, he will need the others, but it's Kylian. France have won their last 4 qualifying matches, for both the World Cup and Euros, by an aggregate score of 16-0. Les Blues have not managed 5 qualifying victories without conceding since doing so between November 1981 and December 1984, but they face an Ireland side buoyed by a young prospect of their own. Ferguson scored on his first international start in a 3-2 win over Latvia and could become the first Ireland player to net in consecutive appearances before turning 19. The Brighton and Hove Albion striker has been a hot topic of discussion, with Deschamps acknowledging the danger the 18-year-old might offer. It goes back to Euro 2016. I remember that we were trailing 1-0 in the round of 16 before winning 2-1, and that it was complicated, Deschamps said. But there is a new generation with Ferguson. It is always very difficult to compare. Ireland have lost just 3 of their last 30 Euros qualifying games, W14-D13, and are unbeaten in their last 14 on home soil, W8-D6, including playoff fixtures. That strong home form is a factor Deschamps knows France must deal with. He continued, they are a technical team. From what I have seen, they use less direct play and long balls. It will be a different game, with the crowd pushing as well. It's a high level and it's up to us to do no less. NO manager is bigger than the club. Tottenham fans expressed their relief after Antonio Conte's exit is finally confirmed and claim the Italian was asking for the sack, as others claim they are sad he couldn't succeed. Tottenham Hotspur fans have taken to Twitter to react to the exit of Antonio Conte from the club after a turbulent spell in charge of the North London side. Conte left Tottenham Hotspur by mutual consent on Sunday night, a departure which came to be expected after the Italians' outburst last weekend. Conte hit out at players and senior management at the club after they were pulled back from a 3-1 lead to a draw with bottom club Southampton, in what transpired to be the 53-year-old's final match in charge of Tottenham. Cristiano Ronaldo is taking temporary charge of Spurs whilst the North London club tried to secure a top 4 finish in the Premier League and Champions League football in 2023-24. One fan noted that the club is bigger than Conte, but also bigger than chairman Daniel Levy. They also wished good things to those thrust into the challenge of finishing off the season, with 10 league games left on Tottenham's plate this term. The tweet read, "No player, no manager and no chairman is bigger than Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I really hope that Daniel Levy knows what he is doing. 10 games with a caretaker manager and coach is a big risk, especially given our tough fixtures. Best of luck to Stellini and Mason. Coys." But the door had barely closed behind Conte before some fans were eyeing up his potential replacement. Ruthless Bukayo Saka shines as England defeat Ukraine in Euro 2024 qualifier. Gareth Southgate hailed ruthless Bukayo Saka as the England forward's breathtaking goal inspired a 2-0 win against Ukraine that maintained his side's perfect start to their Euro 2024 qualifying campaign on Sunday. Southgate's team followed an impressive victory against Italy in their Group C opener with another composed display highlighted by Saka's brilliance and the latest example of Harry Kane's predatory instincts. Saka has been one of the standout performers in Arsenal's climb to the top of the Premier League this season, and the forward was at his very best once again at Wembley. It was Saka's pinpoint cross that allowed Kane to give England the lead in the first half as the Three Lions captain extended his record tally for his country. Kane wrote himself into the record books against Italy, scoring his 54th international goal to surpass Wayne Rooney as England's all-time leading goalscorer. Surrounded by his wife and children, the Tottenham striker was presented with a golden boot before kickoff, but quickly got back down to business with goal number 55. Kane had been more instrumental than most in England's progress to major tournaments in his career, scoring 34 times in just 29 qualifying group matches. Aged 29, Kane is at his peak, while the 21-year-old Saka is only just starting to explore the vast depths of his potential, as he showed with his superb long-range goal. Once he receives inside and turns, you know there's a chance that might happen. It's a top-level finish, Southgate said. That's really the ruthless part he's added to his game in the last 18 months. There were times where you weren't certain he was going to finish, and now you've got real confidence when he's through on goal. Everyone can see technical quality. It is the mentality that is the outstanding part. England's 2-1 victory over European champions Italy on Thursday, their first success on Italian soil since 1961, was a significant statement of intent in their bid to finally win a first major trophy since 1966. Dismissing Ukraine in businesslike fashion ensured the positive mood will continue while England wait to resume their qualifying campaign against Malta and North Macedonia in June. "I'm really pleased. We made a difficult game look straightforward," Southgate said. To back up the Italy result was important, but there is still room to grow. It was an emotional occasion for more than 1,000 Ukrainians and their host families, who were invited to the game as special guests of England's Football Association, having been displaced by the war with Russia. Showing solidarity with Ukraine, England's players joined their opponents before kickoff behind a Ukrainian flag with "Peace" written across it. "It was amazing to see so many Ukrainian fans here," Southgate said. "We knew it was going to be emotional, and we all have tremendous sympathy with what's going on. Everyone's supporting Ukraine." Beaten in the 2018 World Cup semi-finals and the European Championship final 2 years ago, England are still chasing their trophy holy grail. In their first home game since last year's World Cup campaign ended in a painful quarter-final defeat against France, Southgate's men showed their hunger has not been dulled by so many agonizing near misses. England had been patient against Ukraine's mass defense and, while their build-up might have looked ponderous at times, it was a steady approach that paid off in the 37th minute. Saka whipped a perfectly weighted cross towards the far post, and when Alexander Karaviv couldn't get enough power on his attempted clearance, Kane stuck out a boot to deflect it in from close range. Having provided the assist for Kane, Saka got on the scoresheet himself 3 minutes later. Taking possession 20 yards from goal, the Arsenal forward easily evaded Mikola Matvienko and curled a sublime strike over Anatoly Trubin into the far corner for a jaw-dropping goal that brought the previously subdued Wembley crowd to their feet. Northern Ireland 0-1 Finland. Craig Cathcart frustrated after Euro qualifying defeat. Craig Cathcart says Northern Ireland were frustrated after Sunday's Euro 2024 qualifying defeat by Finland. Benjamin Coleman scored a first-half winner as Finland condemned Northern Ireland to defeat on Michael O'Neill's Windsor Park return. The result, coupled with wins for Kazakhstan and Slovenia, leaves NI 5th in Group H after 2 matches. "We need to pick ourselves up, be positive and get the wins on the board," said Captain Cathcart. Finland deliver early blow to NI's Euro 2024 hopes. Group H is wide open after 2 matches, with Slovenia the only side to have maximum points on the board from the opening 2 fixtures. Cathcart, who captained the side in the absence of injured duo Stephen Davis and Johnny Evans, was pleased with Northern Ireland perseverance despite the result. "The heads didn't drop and we kept on going," he added. "We gave everything we could and we were just a little bit unlucky with how the ball dropped here or there. We didn't really get the opportunities." Obviously Kazakhstan beat Denmark, so the group is pretty open. "We have to take the positives from the game, look at the things we can do better and make sure we are better for June. I think the performance was there tonight. We were pushing and we were trying to do the right things. We need to pick up the wins, that is the thing." Northern Ireland, who beat San Marino in their opener, are classified 5th but are level on 3 points with Denmark, Kazakhstan and Finland. Cathcart's side pressed for an equalizer in front of a capacity home crowd, and came close through Dion Charles's disallowed goal, but failed to convert a number of chances. "In the second half we felt like we were building into the game well and felt like the goal was coming, but we just couldn't get there in the end," added Watford defender Cathcart. "To come in, at halftime, at 1-0, we were a little bit disappointed. We had a couple of good opportunities and tried to build on it in the second half. We put a lot of balls into the box but it wouldn't drop our way. We had the goal disallowed which killed our momentum a little bit." UEFA Euro 2024 qualifying, Kazakhstan pulls off historic comeback to stun Denmark. The hosts pulled off one of the biggest upsets in the ongoing European qualifiers. Kazakhstan stunned Denmark in their Euro 2024 qualifying match, coming back from a 2-0 deficit to win 3-2 at the Astana Arena. After losing their first game to Slovenia, the Hawks were expected to face another defeat as they fell behind to 2 first-half goals from Rasmus Højlund. However, in the final 17 minutes of the match, Kazakhstan made a remarkable comeback. Bakhtiar Zaynetdinov scored from the penalty spot after Jonas Wind was penalized for handball. Askat Tajibergen then scored a stunning long-range effort from 25 yards out to draw Kazakhstan level on 86 minutes. Aybat Aimbetov headed home what proved to be the winner on 89 minutes to complete the comeback and spark wild celebrations. However, Aimbetov's celebration proved costly as he took off his top and earned himself a caution. Minutes later, he received a second yellow card for a flailing arm while challenging for the ball and had to leave the field. Nonetheless, Kazakhstan held on to secure the win and take all 3 points. Slovenia currently lead Group H after a 2-0 victory over San Marino, with goals from Benjamin Sesko and an own goal from Roberto Di Maio. Northern Ireland will face Finland later on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. See you again with more news. Bye for now.